My top 3 favorite carriers for final expense telesales are American Amicable, Prosperity Life, and Gerber Life. So in this video, I'm going to go over why I love working with these companies and why they're my 3 favorite and my 3 core carriers right now. But before you go any further, please subscribe to my channel. Click the subscribe button, please. Turn on post notifications. So hit the bell to turn on post notifications, because I put out the best content for final expense telesales in the industry, and I promise you want to be notified whenever I put a new video out. I drop videos on Mondays and Thursdays. I recommend using 2 to 3 carriers if possible. So there's a reason why I only use 3. Okay, I have a main go-to, which is American Amicable. Prosperity Life fills in the gaps, and then Gerber is the guaranteed issue that we go to, obviously, if no one qualifies for anything else. I don't like writing a bunch of different carriers. I used to when I started, because I just was like trying to get everyone a day one benefit. But what I realized is that my chargebacks would get too spread out, and there are a higher percentage of chargebacks in telesales than there is face-to-face. So you want to watch for that. So please pick a few carriers, just a core group of carriers. If you can just get away with 2, more power to you. And my ideal scenario would be to only have 1, to be honest. And that's because chargeback purposes, and then it's easier to grow and scale if you're only teaching 1 carrier. Like, it's way easier to teach agents on 1 carrier than a few. So why do I like American Amicable as my go-to? So they are my #1 go-to carrier for final expense telesales for a few reasons. One, they have very versatile underwriting. So when you're writing AMAM, they're a little bit strict on the day 1 benefits, but they take just about everyone except for the major knockout questions like, dementia, Alzheimer's, congestive heart failure, home health care, hospice, nursing home care, AIDS, HIV, ARC, Lou Gehrig's disease, stuff like that. They take like just about everyone on their plans, and they may have to go graded or modified, but they have very versatile underwriting, and they're very, very good with mental health issues. So from an underwriting standpoint, I like going with them because of that. All right, now also their application is amazing. Their application is by far my favorite and the easiest application to use for final expense telesales. We have privileges which may be given to independent agents at some point. I think some use it with that. I don't know, but we have a privilege to be able to do their e-application over the phone for telesales without a PHI. So we don't have to do a health interview. And I've heard other agents who are independent say the same thing. Like, all you have to do is a voice signature recording, and then you submit that with the application. There's no telephone interview. Those things are the biggest pain in the butt. So that's a recent change that they made, and what it does is agents, it allows us to submit the application, skip the whole telephone interview process, complete a long voice signature, submit the application, and then as agents, we can review the medications that the clients are on in the prescription history report for us to help understand what the client qualifies for. Now, this is huge, and you guys know what I'm talking about. If not, what happens is you go on a telephone interview with the insurance carrier and the client. At the end, the insurance carrier, the interview company may ask the client why they're prescribed certain medications. And sometimes they come up and it's like, dude, this person doesn't have this condition, even though they're prescribed a medication that could potentially be for that condition, but it's not. So American Amicable, they actually let you put notes in and explain certain medications, why a client's on them. So obviously you don't lie. But a perfect scenario here is like if the client's prescribed nitroglycerin for heart attack prevention. Well, people don't take nitroglycerin all the time. So the guy may have had a heart attack 10 years ago, but he's being prescribed nitroglycerin as a preventative, just in case something happens. So we have situations like that all the time where clients are prescribed medications that with other companies would automatically get kicked back and declined or rated down. We're able to negotiate and kind of just, not negotiate, but explain, hey, they're not taking the medication for that reason. Don't worry, it's all good. And then the underwriter will actually go in, look at the prescription history, anything in the MIB to be able to validate and verify the information, the evidence that we're giving them about what that client qualifies for. So it's a huge benefit for American Amicable's application to be able to do that. Also, they have a plan for ages 0 to 49 and a simplified issue term policy. So if you get the one-odd mortgage protection or people under 50 that are looking for a whole life policy, then there are products that they offer to be able to cover those people. So they have a huge array of products, and they go from ages 50 to 85 for their final expense plan. So they do go all the way up to 85. And they have the best rates for tobacco users that I've seen. Maybe not the best in the business, but they're very, very good. And they're aggressive. And they're going to beat most people when it comes to tobacco users for rate. In addition to that, their back office support is subpar to none. They have by far the best back office customer service I've worked with in the entire industry. They answer the phone. You're not on hold for 45 minutes with a client. They don't ask you to leave a message. Like you call, you actually get someone on the phone. Number one, if you have to call. Number two, they have a really cool portal with a chat feature where you can actually chat with their underwriting department and with their back office right through the portal. So you log into your American Amicable portal in the back end, and you can go in and you can use a chat feature. You can talk with new business. You can talk with underwriting. You can talk with commissions. You can talk with agent marketing support to get brochures and things like that. And also they have easily accessible documents like brochures and any supplements you need to use for applications and things like that. So their portal is super simple, easy to use. It's not complicated. It's very straightforward, and it's made for the agent. You can tell that like someone made it for an agent. They didn't make it for like their back office, right? Which in turn, when it makes it easy for the agent, makes it easy for their back office. Also, it's very easy to track your policies on their portal, to see who's paid, to see who's missing a payment. Maybe if there's a requirement that's needed on an application, maybe someone passed away, you got to help with a death claim. And if you ever want to access a client's old policy, it's very, very easy to do it through there. Clients get impressed when they're like, I need a copy of my policy. And you're like, okay, and within 5 minutes, you have an email to them of a copy of their policy. Or hey, maybe you got to print it out and mail it to them if they don't have a computer. But it's their customer support and agency support is amazing. And then next, I love American Amicable because of their Social Security billing accuracy. I've literally had clients be like, wow, they billed my policy premium 1 minute after my Social Security was deposited. I've had a couple people say that. Now, I don't know if they were really tracking it or if they can like even do that through their bank on the bank statement, but to know that American Amicable is on top of their Social Security billing, and from what I've heard, has the best Social Security billing system in the entire country, that is huge. For your clients on Social Security, you need to have a carrier that has true Social Security billing. And American Amicable is the truest Social Security billing I've seen. I've worked with other carriers that have Social Security billing, and American Amicable has the best billing out of all of them. So that's another reason to go with American Amicable. Now with their rates, they're not the cheapest rates, but they're not the most expensive. And you know what? I really don't care if I'm not getting the client the cheapest rate. Why? Because I run a business. And I'm in the business to make money. And I'm getting them a policy too with an amazing company that pays out a high percentage of their death claims and is very easy for them to work with. So you know what? You want a company that's got a better chance of paying out your death claim. You want a company that's very easy to work with, customer service. You want a company that's going to make sure that your policy doesn't lapse for policy premium payments and stuff like that. You're going to pay a couple more dollars. And you want to work with me, you're going to pay a couple more dollars because I'm amazing and I'm worth it. So all in all, American Amicable is my favorite carrier for final expense telesales. It's our go-to here at our agency, and it's just all around the most versatile company. You can write almost everyone with them. You could actually get away with writing just American Amicable and a guaranteed issue policy and write a ton of business. We have agents here that write multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in annualized premium with just writing American Amicable and a guaranteed issue company. They don't even write any of the other carriers that we work with. Next, my second go-to carrier for simplified issue and final expense telesales is Prosperity Life. Now, there are a few reasons why I like Prosperity more than any of the other carriers in final expense telesales. And a big part of it is they have two really good products. So one is their new Vista Voice final expense product. The rates on the level death benefit are super cheap. I've had them accept people with diabetic neuropathy because they only ask about diabetic complications like insulin shock and diabetic coma. They don't mention neuropathy or retinopathy on the application. I've applied and some of them have come back modified, maybe if they're on a certain combination of medications. And I've applied and I've had plenty of them come back level, applying neuropathy with Prosperity. So they are great for that. And then also for seizures, they come back, or they give a day one benefit for seizures. So Prosperity and American Amicable complement each other really well. American Amicable doesn't look at bipolar disorder for ages 50 to 85. Prosperity does. American Amicable gives neuropathy a return of premium death benefit. Prosperity, I've seen they do level day one. So there are a few other underwriting things in there that they help each other with. Beware though with Prosperity, they're very, very strict on blood thinners. American Amicable is not, so they complement each other real well. If someone's on a blood thinner with Prosperity, they're gonna get rated modified. So don't learn the hard way, please. That's just, it is what it is. It's gonna happen like every single time. They're strict with blood thinner. The cool thing with Prosperity too is they only have a 2-year look back on things like heart attacks, strokes. They have a 3-year look back on cancer, I believe, but they only have a 2-year look back on things like heart attacks, strokes. American Amicable has a 3-year look back. Okay, American Amicable, it's a 2-year look back for return of premium, 2 to 3 year for their graded plan, and 3-year or on for day 1 benefit. Prosperity has a 2-year look back for their modified benefit and a lot of those things, and then after 2 years they give them a day 1 level benefit. And like I said, the rates on their level benefit is like super cheap. Like it beats out just about every true telesales carrier I've seen. Now you may use a face-to-face carrier that they don't really want you writing telesales with, but Prosperity is designed for telesales. Like they know we're writing telesales with it, and they know that a lot of agents are going to write telesales. It says it right on their application. So it's a great rate beater. If you're trying to like just go up, someone's like, oh, I'm shopping around, then you're going to want to look at Prosperity because they're going to give the lowest rates. Their e-app process and telephone interview process is a little bit more extensive than American Amicable. It is what it is. They have the traditional setup where you have to call and do an interview, but they also have an e-app. So some people may look at the e-app as a pain in the butt. What I really like about the e-app, so you do the e-app first and then you call to do the interview. What I like about their e-app is it has a bank account verification feature where when you put the account and routing number in that the client's giving you, it uses a system to check if that's accurate and if it can verify the account. So it can verify just about every account out there except for ones with really, really small banks or credit unions. If there's just like one branch, sometimes it will verify them, sometimes it won't. But you know, like if a client has a major bank and they're giving you an account and routing number and it comes back as unable to authenticate or unable to verify, then you know they're giving you the wrong information. So then you can kind of keep working on getting the right account number from them to see if they're reading the wrong set of numbers, or maybe they think like a 0 is an 8 or a 6 is an 8 or something like that, to help really nail in and get that proper account and routing number. Because the deals that stay are the deals that pay. So you can go through the whole process, but if you get the wrong bank account information, then your deal's getting kicked back. So what I'd like everybody to do real quick is, if you want to check out right above me here, you're going to see something stick out. And these are actually 4 live final expense sales calls when we're using these 3 carriers that I'm going over here at my agency. So I have recordings of sales calls of us actually selling these carriers live on the phone. You'll also be able to access this video at the end of this video. The next product I want to go over with Prosperity is called their Prime Term product. So Prosperity's Prime Term product is awesome. It's for ages 40 to 80, so it goes down to 40. Most final expense plans are just 50 to 80 or 85. Like their final expense plan is age 50 to 80. Their Prime Term plan starts at age 40. Now this Prime Term plan, it's kind of like a modified death benefit term policy where the first couple years it's return to premium or graded, and then years 4 through 20 it's a level death benefit, and then years 20 to 20 on, the death benefit decreases until they reach 100 and it's 0. So there's only 3 health questions, and I'm going to show them to you right here. They take things like HIV, they take things like dialysis. So you'll see these health questions, but they're super lenient. This is a great go-to if you're thinking that you have to go guaranteed issue, but you don't want to get hit with the crap commissions on a guaranteed issue. So this Prime Term product has a 9-month advance. It pays a commission that's higher than a guaranteed issue, not as high as a simplified issue, but higher than a guaranteed issue. And all they have to do is answer 3 health questions as a no. There's no height and weight chart as well, and the rates don't change for tobacco users. So this is a great go-to product as well. If, say, you're selling someone a tobacco user and they got COPD or neuropathy or something like that, or something they had, like some sort of health condition that's preventing them from, or that's causing them to go modified or graded, and they smoke, you know those rates are going to be sky high. So you always want to look at Prime Term. If the client shoots it down because of the rate when you go simplified issue, look at Prime Term before you have to jump to the cheaper guaranteed issue product just because it's a rate thing. Now, one thing that kind of stinks about it is it's got a 2-year look back on heart attacks and strokes and things like that. You'll see, and cardiomyopathy and heart surgeries. Other than that, it's super lenient, the things that they take. Bottom line, for a simplified issue, I love American Amicable because of their underwriting versatility, their back office stuff. Their e-application is amazing. Their tobacco rates are great, and you can write just about anyone with them. Prosperity fills the gaps in with American Amicable that for underwriting stuff, and also they have great rates, and they have an awesome prime term product. And I really like their application for bank account verification. Prime term, I'm in love with that product. It's made us so much more money because we can go with that instead of guaranteed issue. And then our guaranteed issue product is Gerber Life. So most of you guys are for telesales. If you're independent, you're going to have to go Great Western because Gerber doesn't really have a proper telesales, I don't think, for independent agents. I know our agency has like exclusive access to a telesales platform for Gerber that other people don't have access to. But for guaranteed issue, if you're out there, I would go Great Western, and that's what I did before, like when I first started, because their application is super easy. Their rates aren't the cheapest, but who cares? It's guaranteed issue. It's like, dude, like, you know, you want to make as much as you can on the guaranteed issue, and at that point, it's like, what does the client really have to bargain with? And like I said, I don't mind someone paying a little bit more money to go with me because I'm worth it, and I will convince them I'm worth it, and they will feel that I'm worth it. They'll know it. I don't even have to tell them. So use those 3 carriers if you like, and if you want to send me any questions about any other carriers, you can email me at jve@thejve.com. That's jve@thejve.com. Once again, subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications. I bring great content on Mondays and Thursdays. You'll be able to hear the bell ding. It's around 5 p.m. I release a video, so it'll be after hours. You can be driving home, listening to the video. Also, if you look up, you're going to be able, right here, if you click this, you're going to be able to watch myself and the people at my agency close live final expense calls selling these carriers. So if you want to hear some fire sales, click on these. Looking forward to working with you guys and on the next video, and drop any suggestions you have for videos in the comments. Thank you.